Well, howdy again. We're live here in the Clifton Market Cafe with John Wittenberg. Is that how you pronounce that?
Yeah, Wittenberg.
Yeah, famous aircraft mechanic and motorcycle enthusiast.
Motorcycle mechanic and airplane enthusiast.
So what's the latest plane you've been working on?
I don't work on airplanes at all anymore. I work at the Cincinnati Museum Center and exhibits, getting it back in revitalized after the restoration of the terminal.
Well, that sounds like a huge job.
It is. Yeah. Yep. Dinosaur Hall is back open, and we're working on the cave. I'm sure you've been in the cave. It's getting revitalized and freshened up, cleaned up, repainted.
So I guess you were just coming from right there, right?
Yeah.
So what's for dinner tonight?
Well, hopefully they've got pesto here. I'll be making some pasta with pesto, maybe some other stuff.
Yeah, maybe
broccoli.
You might have some fresh basil leaves.
Yeah,
You can make something.
Might get some of that. Might grab a 6-pack of craft beer, possibly. Who knows?
Yes, I heard that they're going to have Nightmare Brewery here.
I've never heard of that one.
Oh, it sends chills through a lot of beer lovers' spines.
Really?
I think I was talking to David in produce. He said it might be $26 for a 4-pack.
You know, that sounds wonderful. I'm a little bit more domestic in my taste, or more pedestrian. For me to say I'm a little bit more pedestrian in my beer drinking.
So what motorcycle do you have on the skid right now?
Well, right now I'm just waiting for this horrible weather to break and get my street bike back out. I have a lovely red Ducati that I ride. That's my day-to-day bike. And I have a yellow Ducati that I use on special occasions. And I've got a little motor scooter that's going to be my daughter's when she gets old enough. And I think that's it. That's it.
Well, cool.
We race it every Friday night. We race mini bikes at Lawrenceburg Speedway. I invite everybody on a cheap, fun night out. Go to Lawrenceburg Motorcycle Racetrack.
Is that a dirt track?
Mm-hmm. One of the oldest American motorsports. A lot of fun.
They must have a poster of Steve McQueen there.
Never seen a poster of him there. He was more of a dirt, like a desert rider. But I'm sure if he would have grown up or been here in the Midwest, he would have been a dirt tracker.
Well, the funny thing about Steve McQueen's famous ride over the hills and then trying to go over the fence in that great escape.
Yeah.
Well, just as soon as that movie hit the theaters, I grew up in Dubuque Park.
Yeah.
So
okay.
What do you think happened right that following week? Everybody in their motorcycle was plowing through the fields trying to emulate Steve McQueen. Of course, then they banned motorcycles.
As I say, nowadays we would take Steve McQueen and he would have to testify on why he's popularizing this risky and irresponsible behavior.
Oh gosh. Well, this summer I put an engine in a sailboat. I got a brand new $12,000 engine.
Isn't that a oxymoron? Isn't that cheating?
Oh well, we had to get rid of the old engine.
Shouldn't you have to rely on your wit and guile?
Oh, for a sailboat?
Yeah.
Oh no, the engine's a very important part. Coming in and out of the harbor, and also
I see.
in cruising. Sometimes when there's no wind, you still got to make your 125 miles a day.
That's a lot.
Well, you're only going 4 knots.
I don't think. How did Magellan get his boats into port?
Oh, it was a fantastic procedure back in those days. Nobody did anything until the wind was perfect, and the guys really were experts. But you might have to sit offshore for a month in order to make harbor,
and I think that's probably a good thing. That probably was a character building exercise. Yeah.
It was just the run. It was a day-to-day event. It wasn't unusual or anything. The funny thing about that is that, of course, this was happening to passenger boats too, and the fast pilot boats would come out and take the rich people ashore for a sum of money, and of course the
oars.
The poor. Yeah, well, they just sail them in with their fast boats, but the crew would always make up these strange concoctions, calling them tobacco to sell to the people in steerage, and but they'd have to eat potatoes for a month before trying to get in.
Well, I don't know. That's it sounds a little bit grim, but I mean, like I said, it probably built character. When you finally did get ashore, you probably knew exactly what you wanted to do.
It was just the way things were done.
Go to pub.
Nobody had an option. I didn't think of anything else. It was status quo.
Yeah.
I mean, today, probably in the future, they'll look back and says, "Well, you guys were really lame." You mean nobody had an implant in their head? Nobody had any? They didn't have an AI implant in your head? Well, what kind of a life did you live?
You had to make your own fun.
Okay, John, I'll let you go.
Yeah, I would love to sit here and chat longer. Thank you.
No.
It's always nice to talk to the rest of the world, and
Well, we have a fun time here. Every Wednesday I broadcast now, just going through the Clifton news, and my fun thing with the market is I go and I track what's the best fruit and vegetables available right at this time.
yeah, because it always changes. That's the other thing. Imagine back in the old days. I mean, the potato didn't even come to Europe till like.
I'm happy I came here because I'm free of my pledge. I do not have to buy shares in this place. There's no wine cheap enough for me to afford. So I do not have to keep my word to buy shares in this company. Nevertheless, when I get paid, I'll still be here to buy things I can afford.
Thank you.
I still can't afford cheap wine, but I wish I could go buy some cheap beer, right? It's all we spend that on.
Better for you, anyways.
Thank you. Thank you for your
You know,
patronage.
I'll definitely come here and purchase some items, but I don't know if this place any of my pledge. So I'll buy some shares in this company if you have cheap wine. You know.
Okay.
Anyway,
Well, I'll take that opportunity to go do my grocery shopping.
All right,
Take care, Tom.
Yeah, I'm at them, but I can't find it.
Let's see
I
it.
don't know where it is. Have a
Okay.
great day.
Anybody else? Does anybody else go today?
No, you opened the show. You were the big star. You're the star attraction.
Well, if there's requests for another visit, tell me. I'm trying to make you.
Okay. We're going to go over the list of exciting events here in Ludlow this week. It always starts with the 4 o'clock broadcast here in Clifton Market. Oh, let's go to the news first. The CTM meeting was on Monday at 7 p.m. at the Rec Center, and we had a new trustee voted in. Her name is Stephanie Galbreath. Gina Marsh resigned from her position as trustee, basically for her workload, and her husband Kevin Marsh is on the board too. So it was great to have her, but as long as we got one Marsh, we're happy. And Kevin is the wizard in the IT department. The police department mentioned something called smart911.com. This is a website that you can go to, smart911.com, and put in pertinent information about your household, medicines, who lives there, what special needs there are, and these items will come up when you call 911. So if you have a special needs patient, it's probably very important to have that information listed. The zoo is going to have a pollinator garden event this summer. They're working with the communities to plant pollinator gardens. They have special plants, advice, and their goal is to establish 500 gardens in the Cincinnati area in this first summer of the event. There's a new CTM website coming. Basically, it's the same information, but it's been rearranged and streamlined so that the information is at one place and not multiple places, and it's simplified somewhat. We've got 3 great guys on the trustees that are working on the website, and they're also going to want to publish a lot more content on the Facebook page about events as they happen. So more than likely the Chronicle will be feeding them the stories, and then they will slowly disseminate the stories on the CTM's Facebook page to try to boost all the great news here in Clifton. The zoo is also moving the elephant house. They've got a 3-acre parking lot in the back of the zoo, and they're going to use that for the new zoo elephant terrain, or whatever they call it. The old elephant house is going to be preserved and made into a special events building. Probably you can have your wedding there or something of that nature. They're also in the process of building a 1,200 car garage in between the VA and the zoo. The zoo has always shared their parking with the VA because they never seem to mesh together. So this is a great partnership, and this continued. And also to help alleviate the residents that live around the zoo getting irritated by attendees parking on the street. The zoo is going to spearhead an initiative to get residential parking passes and residential parking on the street, very similar to what they're doing on Over the Rhine right now, so that the residents won't be hassled as bad. And the gentleman from the zoo did say that when they get this parking garage up and running, it will alleviate a lot of the congestion around holidays on Ludlow, because that's always a very frustrating time. So this may take 2 or 3 years to do. And I've already mentioned Stephanie Galbreath is a new CTM trustee, and we'll go on to the events this week. Tonight at Lydia's at 6 p.m. is the Faux night. At 7 p.m. the Esquire is screening The Other Side of Everything, part of its UC Center for Film and Media Studies. That's tonight at 7. Also it's half-price wine night at the Esquire. Also at 7 p.m. at the garage is trivia night. This is a new thing. I think this is the second week they've had trivia at the garage.
Now, is that your own little tablet, or are you actually filming people?
No, this is, I'm live on YouTube. You want to be interviewed?
Oh, absolutely not. This is worse kind of thing. Unless I have something interesting to say.
Well,
I have nothing interesting to say.
we talk about what you bought, and
Well, whether or not the tomatoes look right. They look great.
well,
Probably GMO, that's interesting.
well, we talk about all the produce and everything, Clifton Market. So
Yeah, it's another day, but that's great.
Okay.
YouTube.
every Wednesday at 4 o'clock.
Beats Facebook. Take care, man.
Okay, Steve. So we got trivia at 7 o'clock at the garage. Also at 8 p.m. at Sitwell's, the Faux Frenchmen play at Sitwell's the first Wednesday of every month. On the back end of that, the last Wednesday of every month at Lydia's, there's a French gypsy jazz group that plays there, and it's a sit-in. I mean, you can bring your guitar and jam with the gypsy jazz at Lydia's. On Thursday at Lydia's is open mic night, so that's at 6 p.m. It's also Thirsty Thursdays at the Esquire. It's $3 beers all day. On Friday at 5 p.m., as usual, there's the beer and wine tastings at Ludlow Wines. Mike puts on a great spread. A flight of wine is $12. A flight of beer is $10, and it comes with a complimentary cheese plate. On Friday at 7 p.m., Greg Hinds will be at Lydia's on Ludlow. Also Friday at 8:30 at the garage is a Fleetwood Mac tribute band. On Saturday March 9th at 10:30 a.m. at the Trailside will be a literature walk. They walk about and then they meet at Lydia's to discuss their literary thoughts from the journey. On Saturday, March 9th at 1:30, Improv Cincinnati at 404 Ludlow Avenue has a workshop. 404 Ludlow Avenue is across the street from CVS. It's a black box theater in the basement. Clifton Performance Theater was there, but Improv Cincinnati has taken over the space for a year. Also on Saturday at March 9th at 5 p.m. is at 343 Ludlow Avenue is beer and wine tastings at Ludlow Wine and Beer. Saturday, March 9th at 8 p.m. at Improv Cincinnati, 404 Ludlow Avenue is Love Square. So this is a themed performance, and I can't wait to catch one of their performances. Hopefully it'll be this Saturday. Also Saturday, March 9th at 8:30, the Garage is hosting Adrian Belew. It's sold out. So I saw on their website that they're going to be scheduling another Belew concert in the summer. Also this Saturday at 11:55 p.m. is your time to buy tickets for the Rocky Horror Picture Show at the Esquire. It's a theatrical event, and if you've ever been to one of the Rocky Horror Picture Show theatrical events, then you can dress up in costume, and there's various rules, like you can't bring toast. I think it messes up the floor or carpet or something, but there's a lot of props that people throw at the stage or use during the performance. On Sunday, March 10th at 2 p.m. at the Clifton Methodist Church, 416 Clifton Avenue, is the CCAC's second Sunday family showtime. And the performance is going to be Little Red Riding Hood. On Sunday, March 10th at 11 a.m. is at Lydia's on Ludlow is Ron Enyard Jazz Quartet. Also on Sunday at 8:45 in the morning at Trailside is a litter pickup, part of Preservation Burnett Woods puts together. Also, next at the Trailside at 10 a.m. on Sunday, March 10th, we have the Bird Walk, 10 a.m. at Trailside. And then followed by a 2:30 event at Trailside, the Botany Walk with Dr. Conover. He's a UC professor. And Sunday, March 10th at 7 p.m. at the Esquire, the House by the Sea will be screened. It's part of the UC Center for Film and Media Studies. And I don't have anything for Monday, March 11th, but Tuesday at 6:15 a.m. in the morning at Trailside is the Hill Run. A group of runners get together and run up the hill. And Tuesday, March 12th at 7 p.m. at Lydia's on Ludlow will be Nelson Slater. You might know Nelson Slater. He was the roommate of Lou Reed. And in many ways, if you hear the story properly, Lou stole everything from Nelson, or the two were very similar personalities. And following the end event on Wednesday, next Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. is the library story time for 2 and under. I highly recommend going. If you're new to the neighborhood or new with children, it's a wonderful way to meet families and caregivers for small ones, and you'll grow up together in Clifton. That's the end of the lineup of Ludlowville news. We're going to go straight to the peak produce. I love researching this. I go online and I get the weekly news of how the produce is being delivered and what's on top. We're just going to focus on what's on top. And these are the items that will also be on sale. So we have blackberries and raspberries. The quality is good. Broccoli is fair to good. Cauliflower, the quality is fair. Lemons, good quality and sizing. Limes, quality is fair. Oranges, navel quality is very good. So now's the time to get the navel oranges. About cucumbers, the quality remains good. Selects are more readily available than supers. Eggplant, good supplies and quality. Expect demand to get stronger as Lent gets closer. Well, today's the first day of Lent, and that makes me wonder what they're using that eggplant for. Maybe it's a substitute for meat. Grapes, quality seems strong, sizing a bit larger this season than usual. Melons, cantaloupe quality has been good. Honeydew quality is relatively good. Onions, a little translucent scale in some of the yellow onions. The rest of the varieties look good. Potatoes, quality on the Burbanks has improved. Squash. In the east, the market is steady, good volume, better quality in zucchini than yellow squash. And the other day I had some yellow squash and I just peeled the skin off, and the fruit was just perfect. And then to round out the weekly flyer, we'll go through the end cap specials. When you get into the store, all the aisles, the end caps contain the bargains. So always make sure you take a look at your end cap. And we have General Mills and Kellogg cereal on one end, Progressive soup, Campbell soup, and Zesta crackers on another end cap. Old Orchard juice is on display. Bounty paper towels. This is Bounty paper towels. Will be on sale all year. Tate's Bake Shop covers one of the ends. Inspired Organics has an extensive display on two end caps. They produce a salt-free tortilla chip and numerous condiments and salsas. It's all just first class. Inspired Organics, really wonderful product. We have a big display of Uncle Ray's kettle chips, and there's a Tide display of liquid and pods. There's a special on Ice Mountain Water, Hunt's tomatoes, Vlasic pickles, Trade Winds tea, Palmolive dish soap, and Simply Done napkins. And to round it all up, we have Angel Soft bath tissue. So these are all the end cap specials. And going back to what I said earlier about the beer, I spoke to Andrew, and we're getting in a shipment of Nightmare Brewery. This is a highly desired beer, and going along with that, we're going to have some Evil Twin, some Fat Orange Cat, Ellison, Jackie O, and Rock Mill are just a few of the beers back in our beer cave and all along the front of the beer cave. And that's about all the news I have. We updated the merchant map. You can pick up a copy in the cart foyer. We added Improv Cincinnati and Richardson Accounting. Rob Richardson had his campaign headquarters up there right next to the Whole Bowl, and now they've taken over the space for Richardson Accounting. On the other side of the news, United Fidelity Bank is changing its name. It's going to be Superior Credit Union. It's the same people in the same company, but I don't know exactly what that means, but they're going to be making that transition this summer. So that's about all I have right now. Let's just go to social media for a little while, see what's fun. Also, we have Alice in Produce is looking to get a number of people signed up for hanging ferns. She'd like to make a buy of 30 ferns, put them in the window here, and she wants to see if she can get some people to sign up to dedicate to buying one. Their 10-inch hanging fern is $10.99. Also, this last week I was able to make the two of the three A-frames we have here. One of them is the beer cave on one side of the drive-in area, and then the other one is Boar's Head sign. It talks about the sandwiches and pizzas made to order, and on the other side, I'm trying to remember what I put on it. Oh, the hot deli. Got a wonderful hot deli section. You can go there and pick up side dishes, a meal for the whole family, hot. Let's go to the next door and see what's on top of that next door. I'm working on getting reinstated on next door. It's been very difficult to stay on next door, but I'm determined to discover how to post in order not to have any problems with next door, because I consider it extremely valuable portal for our core customers. Melissa Jenkins of Spring Grove Village is looking for a plumber. Haley Carlisle of Northside is looking for women's programs. There's a Mini Heart Marathon. There's my post about the new Clifton Town Meeting trustee. Nancy Greenlee of Clifton, as opposed to changing course, local solutions to global crisis, One Strange Rock, 7th and 8th in a 10-part National Geographic documentary series that explores fragility and wonder of the planet we call home. What happened to that? Somebody needs some empty cat litter containers. Basement clean out, north side. Recommendations for a small concrete job in Clifton. From Portia Dryanforth. Clifton Nanny share openings. I'm a nanny for a wonderful nanny share in Clifton. We have a part-time opening 2 days per week, open immediately, and a full-time opening beginning in January. We have been sharing for a year now. It has been the most incredible experience. Offer affordable, low ratio, 1-to-3, unique care to families that don't fit the daycare mold, but also don't resonate with having a private nanny. So it goes on quite a bit. We got somebody wants to know about a brick walkway installation in North Side. We have a lost cat in Clifton, posted by Sharon Bennett. There's a dog at East Mitchell and Dixon, posted by Leigh Daniel in St. Bernard. Jameson Williams, WPYC. Glad to finally be on next door. Hello to all our Spring Grove neighbors and community members. I wonder what WPYC means. Aaron Clark of Clifton, update to a friend with weather migraine. Just wanted to thank everyone who contributed their opinions and experiences for me to pass along to my friend. March outdoor warning siren system tests rescheduled for the 13th of March. I guess that means they're going to have a siren. On the north side, there's no green space meeting tomorrow. Natalie Jones joined. Hello, Natalie. Madeline Lyon joined at Clifton. Welcome, Madeline. Mila Dunaway joined in Clifton. Welcome. There's someone searching for a nanny for 2 children for the fall of 2019. And Heather Skirgle in Northside has 2 part-time jobs available. Medical skills are beneficial. to help professional female in Northside. Okay, well, let's go to Instagram. See what's, oh, Sitwell's Coffee House. We have a muffin, and coffee. Caramel apple cobbler muffin, buttery muffins with toasted oats brown. More sugar, swirls and topped with a dollop of salted caramel. They got more hashtags than you can shake a stick at. Let's see what else we have in Clifton. Oh, howdy. Well, I'm live on YouTube. You want to know anything about Clifton Market?
Everything that I know, I've found online.
Oh, good, good.
Yeah. I also go online to look to see what I can find in the store.
Yeah.
Before coming to the store to actually look for it.
Oh, that's great. Well, I'm looking forward to working on the website and getting it a little more updated. But
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Very well. I also noticed that they had a GoFundMe account too.
Oh, yes. That's kind of not really active now because the asset in the building is in the process of being sold to a private individual.
Yeah.
So that GoFundMe page was back when it was a co-op.
Right.
But we're still waiting for the sale to go through.
Yeah.
And then we'll close those accounts because that's not needed anymore.
Right. Because I just looked at, I glanced at it, I was like, oh, they got a GoFundMe account? Like,
Right.
and I know Mr. Singh just invested in this place big time.
Oh yes. He's restocked the store with his own money.
Wow.
He's working as the owner now without getting paid. I mean, they hired Jeff Brown, who was the butcher, as to be the manager.
Yeah.
So things are getting fleshed out more and more every day. The store becomes fully stocked,
Yeah.
and hopefully we have a transfer of the assets in the building so he can devote all his time to working on the store instead of the massive amount of paperwork that you might imagine.
No, the red tape.
Yes, it's incredible. We're trying desperately to get back our EBT qualifications. That's the food stamp program.
Yeah, that's a hard one to get back into.
Well, it turns out that there's a tremendous amount of bureaucracy in getting authorized to accept the EBT card. So it's not it doesn't sound too strange, but nonetheless, it has to be gone through.
Yeah.
So we're hoping.
Right. You got to go through all the proper channels.
Right. All right. Well, thank you.
Well, you're quite welcome. Have a nice day.
Okay, super duper. Let's see. Sometimes I want to take off all my friends that on Instagram, so I just go straight to Clifton Market. I just friend everybody. We got the barbershop, pop-up barbershop. Clifton Barbers, pop-up barbershop at City Beats Best of Cincinnati Awards. I don't know what that means. Closing early March 27th. I don't know what that means. They're going to move the barbershop to a certain area on a pop-up schedule? I don't know. Well, anyway, to get to the bottom of that. Sean Mulaney's doing some building. Mason Paul's taking some photographs. And that's all I got on. Let's go to Twitter. It's funny when you go to Instagram, you get right to the top. On Twitter, you pick up where you left off. Look at that, we got a post of my 29 bottles and 60 cans of Clifton Market are listed on beermenu.com. Sign up to get your beer menu app on your phone, and you can check out. It'll tell you where you're located. it'll track your location and give you the place where to buy your next beer. And they listed, we have 29 bottles and 60 cans listed on beermenus.com. There's some advice from the Dalai Lama. When we're under the sway of anger or attachment, we're limited in our ability to take a full and realistic view of the situation. When the mind is compassionate, it is calm, and we're able to use our sense of reason practically, realistically, and with determination. So when we're under the sway of anger or attachment, I guess if your attachment may be read as being in love. So when you're in love, you're limited in your ability to take full and realistic view of the situation. Well said, Dalai Lama. Let's see. Well, can't see. Nothing. That's something from the news record. Talking about Hannah Bleacher on becoming the first African American to win an Oscar for Best Production Design. Congratulations. Let's go see what's happening on Facebook. And then we'll call it a day. So just post in Clifton. Let's go to Clifton Gaslight. All good news. Don't see anything there. Clifton Town meeting. Let's go see what's happening at the new. Well, it's not new yet, but they have started to post events on Clifton Town Meeting. They've got on Friday, March 8th, a new class, Friday Yoga Basics at World Peace Yoga. It's the yogi is Patrick Borders. And it mentions the Sunday Burnett Woods Bird Walks. Great. They got a nice post about Postmark, our fancy restaurant on Telford. Clifton Barbers has celebrated Tues' second birthday. Well, you know, I'm doing a good job when you search it and all my posts come up about this, that, and the other thing. So I don't see anything else on Facebook. So I'm going to have to sign off for now. Let's go, finally, let's just check out our Cincinnati events. What's going on the weekend of, well, that's past. That. Got the old photo of the Tap Theater. And it doesn't look like I have much else going on, so we're going to sign off from here in the cafe at Clifton Market till next Wednesday, when we'll finally get, hopefully we'll get an interview with Mr. Singh. I just spoke to him and his wife this morning, and we're working on a couple more signage problems, some of the blackboards. So we're gonna put have one of the blackboards in the deli for daily specials, and then the other one I'm going to put in something a little more permanent, and I'm going to get the international board filled out with items from around the world. And I guess I'm just waiting for spring so I can go back up on the roof and check out those flags. They seem to be hanging a little strange. Also, on another note, we're changing the art here. Steve Lansky took his paintings out of the window box, and I'm going to stick a few in from my sailing adventure this in 2018. I traveled 6,000 nautical miles in the Atlantic Ocean, and so you'll be able to see some of those photographs, and I mean some of the paintings there, and there's a QR code for the journal I kept. So look forward to an opening later in the spring. So signing off here from Clifton Market, it's Tom Lohre, and thanks for tuning in.